Hello, this is Matthew Miller with the ZDNet Smartphones and Cell Phones blog. And I'm switching my video recording up a little bit differently, as you can see here. I figured you guys might get tired of seeing my hands and some weird lighting and everything else. I'm still working on the lighting, but figured I'd have you look at me and look at the device itself. So today we're going to take a look at the HTC One X for AT&T. Now previously I looked at the international version of the One X, the international version of the One S, and then the T-Mobile version of the One S. This is now the US version of the HTC One X, and there's really not very many differences between it and the international version. So this is the retail box. As you can see, it's a fairly traditional AT&T orange box, right? You open it up, the One X is in there, along with a good get started guide. That's actually a nice kind of poster type thing here. We open it up. You can see it gives you lots of information on the One X, right? And then you also, inside the box, you get a nice white USB cable with a micro USB in and a white HTC charging adapter. Here we go, charge it up. Now, the One X itself looks like the international version. Now, everything's pretty much the same. There's a couple internal differences. One is that this one has the Snapdragon dual core rather than the quad core NVIDIA processor, which in testing so far has shown that this one actually gets a little bit better battery life than the NVIDIA Tegra quad core one, and I really haven't seen much in the way of performance differences, so that's fine. Also, you will see this one has 16 gig internal versus 32 gig for the international version. Now, the thing that first blows you away, the screen is fantastic. I mean, it's a beautiful display. Much, much better than the One S in my opinion. The One S has the OLED. This is a Super LCD 2 with the Gorilla Glass on board. Just a fantastic design. In my opinion, this is the best ever designed HTC device. Now, I currently also use the HTC Radar. I know it's not the highest spec device, but it is also, in my opinion, an excellent piece of hardware. It's got the metal back, very, very solid piece of hardware. In my opinion, up to now, this was probably the best piece of hardware, designed hardware. This now takes the cake. You know, it's got this beautiful 4.7-inch Super LCD display. It has, as you can see there, and it has these design elements where the glass actually curves around the edges. There's a little bit of a gasket on the sides. It's just a beautiful device. It has high gloss white around the outside. When we were at the HTC Frequencies event, they kind of showed a picture of a stormtrooper because you can kind of see the white and the black contrast on the device. You know, nice open ports, no stupid covers, no removable back. The SIM card has a nice tray here, a nice button, and so there's a gloss around the outside, and then on the back we have this beautiful matte white finish, as you can see there. And you know, there's the HTC highlights, there's Beats audio on the bottom here, and then we have the camera, the focus of the camera on the back as well. It's really an excellent device. I can't say enough about how much I like it. And as you can see here, you know, I've got my home panels, things like that. Home screen panels, it has Sense 4.0. A couple things that I particularly like with Sense is the multitasking feature. So there's the task switcher. You know, compared to what you've seen before on ICS, this kind of gives you a cover flow, more visible method of doing that. Then also what we can see here is when we pull down, actually we go and we want to add widgets, you can see up top that we can actually switch between the different home screen panels, and then down below we can pick what widget we want to add, and then you can see, visually see, as you're adding widgets and shortcuts and folders to whatever screen on your home screen panel that you want to. You can see that and not have to worry, oh, where did I add that, or grab it and drag it and things like that. So it's a really nice experience there. And then of course my favorite is the Exchange experience. Is just fantastic. I don't know if I can show you much on here, some conversations and things like that, but I just love the Exchange experience with being able to add tabs on the bottom, really search through all of your Exchange data and everything else. So when you look on the back of the HTC One X, you see there's the camera, focus up top, and then there's Beats audio branding on the bottom. Now in these new HTC One X devices, that's the two main focuses of the whole device, right, is the image optics and everything else that's in there. And it's pretty amazing to see HTC explain what went into these optics for this 8 megapixel camera, and then also the Beats audio. Now, just to show you, I'll show you the camera software here. So you see there's the camera software. As you can see, I'm right here. Now, the cool thing is, right, when you're taking video, so if I go ahead and turn on the video and it's doing recording and things like that, I can actually tap, see if I can do this backwards, tap and capture still images as I am recording. Okay, it's taking still images as I'm recording, because then you'll never miss a moment, right, that you want to take the still images as you're recording things. Now, we can also pause the recording. Let's go back. I'm going to show you this. Go back to the camera. Sorry, I didn't stop the video recording. And you can see that there's different options here. Plenty of options in the menu for the camera, more than I can care to go through. Different flash options. Over here you can see that we have HDR, panorama, portrait, group portrait, landscape, whiteboard, close-up, low light. Everything you want pretty much in a camera phone is in this device, right? And then with the audio, you'll see I happen to have a handy set of Beats audio mixer headphones here with Beats cable. So if I was to plug these in, let's see, plug them in the top, of course. Well, we can see the headset comes up. Let me just go to my listen area. I'll just put on the podcast for now, the Verge Mobile Podcast. So as it's playing a podcast, you'll see up top there is the Beats audio option there. I can turn on or off the Beats audio, and I can tell a difference where the audio is improved with the Beats audio on there. And then with a set of Beats headphones, it's really a fantastic experience. And having teen daughters, they get a kick out of seeing me listen to the headphones and enjoy the One X. So it pretty much has everything you need in it, and it's a fantastic device. Battery life has been great. Now the one thing is, this is an AT&T LTE device. However, I don't have AT&T or LTE here in the Puget Sound area. It's very limited right now on AT&T, so I can't say how battery life is going to be with LTE, but I'm using it with HSPA Plus, and it's plenty fast and just works fine. Now I am using also, so you know, the Straight Talk SIM card. I do not have an AT&T account. The Straight Talk is $45 for unlimited text, data, and minutes, and it's been working fine. HSPA Plus on the One X. I just can't say enough how the hardware is just fantastic. It's a molded polycarbonate material. The holes down here for the speaker and the headset speaker are drilled into the material. It's just a fantastic feeling device. Probably the most solid device I've ever felt. But you know, it's also pretty light. It's a big device, but it's fairly light. Now I also do have, where's it at, the Galaxy Note. And just for comparison purposes, you can see maybe the back is a better size comparison. You can see the Galaxy Note is a pretty big device still. I'll put it on top of it. And I've actually been using the One X much more than the Galaxy Note, and thinking about maybe I should return the Galaxy Note because I still have time to do that. However, I really like the S Pen functionality, and the Note screen is absolutely gorgeous with the OLED as well. So that's a quick look at the HTC One X coming to AT&T. In my opinion, the best Android device on AT&T, and the best hardware ever from HTC. Now, you have to also like Sense. I do like Sense. I've always liked Sense. I'm an Exchange user. Sense gives me that extra Exchange stuff, plus the extra things I showed you on Ice Cream Sandwich. If you don't like that, then you're going to have to look for some other device on AT&T. Thanks for watching.